Hey, Miss Purple Brown, aka Chef Herbs. Welcome to this week's Purple Thursday, where I'm going to teach you, per request of my fiance, how to make slow cooker barbecue ribs. We're going to go step by step, starting here at the grocery store. Then after that, I have just a few stretching plyometric drills that you guys can add to your pre-run routine on days when you're feeling a little extra tight. So you're not going to want to miss it. Let's have some fun.
All right, first thing we're gonna need are some veggies to go with these ribs. So I picked out some mushrooms, some potatoes, a sweet onion, and a couple bell peppers. We'll chop those up and cook them alongside the ribs later. We're gonna need a rack of ribs. These bad boys look pretty good. I think I'll take them. All right, for the spices, I like to pick out one of these packets of the Grill Mates because it just makes life a lot simpler, and I can use them for a couple times, and they're only $1.89 here at ACME. Okay, for the barbecue sauce, quite a few options. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go for some stubs. Just try something different.
Ready, I have all the veggies cut up ahead of time. Now I'm going to mingle this rack of ribs. Gotta be honest with you guys, I am not super experienced with this, but you know, sometimes you just gotta go for it. So I've done this once before and it was a big success. So here we go, part 2. First, I'm going to cut off all the extra junk on this set of Kansas City ribs. So here I have a knife, and this just looks super dangerous, but I mean, it's going decent right now. And I'm going to make a little fat pile there because you do not want all that fat. So here we go. Cutting all that stuff off. Okay, I got smarter, and I'm going to use scissors. So this is one of my biggest secrets in the kitchen is I use scissors almost daily. So I'm just gonna cut off all that extra meat and fat. And then there's like this bone that's sideways. I think it's a breastbone. And you just gotta get that out of there because it is gonna make it complicated when you go to cut your ribs. And there's a bone that's going the wrong direction. So here, as you can see, so that's going to go in the pile of no good stuff. And then after that, you need to get the membrane off the back side. I guess this is not a necessary process, but it can either go really quick or take a little bit longer. For some reason, this one took longer. I couldn't get it all off in one piece. This just helps the seasoning soak into your ribs, so it's good to do. Next, I'm going to trim the fat off the best that I can. It's a pretty fatty cut of meat, and you need some fat to keep that meat tender and delicious, but it's good to get off the obvious parts. That white stuff right there, that's your demons, and you just gotta cut them out sometimes. Get rid of them. Do the best you can with what you got. So it's not going to be perfect, but it is what it is. Next, we're just going to score the meat in between the bones. That helps the seasoning get in there and also is going to make it easier to cut later after it's done cooking up. Boom, looking good. All right, time to get rid of all this crap. There's all the fat and bones, gross stuff. Then I'm gonna save this other meat for later because I can use it at a later time for something else. All right, this huge ribs, and then I'm gonna use about half of one of these packets. I have a Memphis Pit barbecue rub that I'm going to sprinkle all over and rub into my meat thoroughly. I use, like I said, about a half a packet on a rack of ribs and save the other half for later. Now I'm going to take you over to my slow cooker, which this is an electric skillet, which I lined with tin foil. Gotta spray down the foil so everything doesn't stick to it, and then toss in my meat. I am going to add the veggies on the sides and then let it cook at 250 for 6 hours. If you have just a crock pot, that'll also work, and you can cook yours on low for 6 to 8 hours. So here is the barbecue sauce application. Ooh, just rub that in. You can use a little brush if you want to, or the back of a spoon, but you know, I just like to get my hands dirty. I wash my hands a lot, so it's fine. All right, veggie time. Just gonna carefully place all of these so that it's evenly dispersed. And let them cook with the ribs and the rib juice. It'll be delicious. Boom, just close that up.
6 hours later.
Looky there. It's looking so delicious. Yum. Ready to go in my belly. Here we are. Here's the fiance. Gotta see what he thinks of this. Success.
10 seconds later.
This week I'm going to teach you 4 simple plyometric stretching drills. So the first is going to be the knee hug. So just hug that knee towards the chest, get a good stretch, and we're going to want to be walking while we do these. The second is going to be turning that foot inward and pulling that shin bone towards your chest. You're getting a good stretch. It's best to be walking while you do these, but if you're uncomfortable, you might just want to stand still and do them. The third is going to be the quad stretch. So take your foot with the same arm and pull it back towards your bum. Put the other hand in the air to get an extra stretch. If you need balance, don't feel obligated to do that part. And the final of these is going to be the hip flexor lunge. So you're going to lunge forward, and then once you get down, you don't want to bend backwards like that. You want to push forwards and feel that hip flexor stretch. Bending backwards is bad for your back, so we definitely don't want to do that. And that's all that I have for you guys this week. All right, just a couple extra things to note. Those drills might be a little tough to do moving for some of you, so if you need to be balanced, just make sure you have something to hold on to. Lastly, these are great for days when you're feeling extra tight before your runs. It's just a good way to warm up before the actual run. So I hope that these help you guys and you can incorporate them into your routine.
All right, Akron Running Project, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys get the chance to make those ribs sometime this summer. Try adding those drills in before your pre-run routine, and I hope you guys have had a great week of training. Make sure you're staying hydrated out there because it is super hot and we do not want anyone passing out. I will see you guys next Thursday for more food and more form.